Welcome to On the Attack with Mack, a podcast meant to inspire, motivate, and even educate you to go out there and win in life. I'm your host, Cornell Mack, and your boy is geeked up because it is episode 100. Yeah, clap it up. Clap it up for the show. We have reached an improbable victory here at On the Attack with Mac, and I'm excited to talk to you today because we're going to be talking about number one, the goals of this show, but then five quotes that I use on a daily basis that helps me go out and begin the process of winning in life and unlocking that winner that is within all of us. So I'm going to talk to you about those five quotes, give you a little update, but you know how we start each and every show, and that is with live viewer shout outs. So we are going to get this show started tonight with some live viewer shout outs. We got my man Clark Williamson in the building. Good Stripes is in the building. That's my homie Drew. We got Hargrove Lawn Care in the building. TM Landscaping Services is in the building. What's going on with you? Sincere Jacobs 19. Alpha Care Plus. What's going on with you? How's everyone doing tonight? If you want to be shouted out on Instagram, make sure you comment down below. I mean, if you want to be shouted out on YouTube and Facebook, make sure that you comment down below so that I know that you're here. But we do this show each and every week on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. And tonight is episode 100. So it is a celebration. I wanted to do something special tonight, and that's why we're here to see you. So I'm excited. We got more people in here. My man Carter Verdrode is in the building. What's going on with you? We got my little brother is in the building. Lynn Mack, what's going on with you? Spence Crisco, a channel member, is in the building. Drew, a channel member, is in the building. Valley View Lawn Service, a channel member, is in the building. What is going on, everyone? How are you doing tonight? We got SLC Landscape in the building. Lawrence Talbert in the building, Penn Brothers Lawns in the building. How's everyone doing tonight? Again, like I said, it is episode 100. So I'm happy that I got to shout out some people here. And it is a lot of the usual suspects that are here. We've been doing this show now 100 episodes, and I'm excited. So we got Rowski Lawn Yard and Home in the building. Carter Verdrode said, "What's up, bro? You excited for LAL?" Yes, I will be in the building for that there in November, right after 2, 3 weeks after Equip Expo. Yep, I will be up in Michigan, rocking out with all the people that like to go up there to my homie Brian Fullerton's event and hang out for a couple of days at the convention center up there and learn and grow with some like-minded entrepreneurs that are out there. But uh, every week we start with the live viewer shout out. So I'm happy that you're here tonight. Again, to beat a dead horse, this is episode 100. So uh, we're going to have some fun tonight, especially once I get into these quotes that have literally helped to change my mind, which then in turn changed my life, which now brings me to you each week to talk with you. So hopefully something that happens, whether it's in the comment section or something I say or a question that is asked or something, can help you to win in your life in some way, shape, or form. We all get to decide what the wins are in our life, whether they're big or small. That's up to you, man. I look at the small things and I try and get small victories because I know at the end of the day, those will lead up to the big ones. But it is going to be a fun show tonight. Let's get into this week's motivational minute. Listen, I was watching Instagram Reels as I usually do. I'm doom scrolling as I take the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl. All right. They're trash. So you always got to flush them down the toilet. Okay. But I was watching Instagram Reels. And in case you don't know, I am from Pittsburgh. If you're new here, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And when I'm 42 years old, whenever I was growing up, the Pittsburgh Pirates weren't very good. I'm a diehard Steeler fan. I will support the Penguins, even though I don't not really much into hockey. But I'm really into uh, pride for my city where I come from. I love the Pitt Panthers. That's my wife's alma mater, her college, and I love the Pittsburgh Steelers. But whenever I was a kid, I lived in South Carolina. All right, I had a friend named Bill. He liked the Atlanta Braves, and the Atlanta Braves were playing the Yankees. Now, the Yankees weren't that good in the early 90s, but towards the late 90s, once I became 13, 14 years old, that's when they started to win their World Series championships. I want to say they won 4 in a row. But my favorite player has been Derek Jeter for a long time. And so uh, I'm not really that into baseball, but boy, do I love winners. All right, because I've been a loser in my life and I like to be around winners. So the teams that were winning whenever I was a kid, that's who I looked up to. It was the Derek Jeters of the world. The Pittsburgh Steelers didn't really matter if they were winning or not because that's just my favorite team. My uncle put me on to them. But then it was the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan and people winning like that. Well, I was watching some Instagram reels over the weekend and I seen the story of a pitcher in the major leagues. He actually played for the Yankees. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about him as this week's motivational minute. I want you to know, in case you don't know, there has been in Major League Baseball history 238,500 games in total up until the end of this year. So it got me to thinking. Uh, in those 238,500 games, there's only been 326 no hitters. And I heard the story of this improbable victory, which is today's show topic, of this one guy, of those. I mean, I don't even know what the percentage of that is, but only one person out of those 326 people who have thrown no hitters had this birth defect. And it was a missing hand. There's this guy named Jim Abbott. He was a pitcher for the New York Yankees, a starting pitcher in the early 90s. Well, September 4th in 1993, Jim Abbott comes to the mound and he gets all the way down to the ninth inning. There is one more batter to get out. Jim Abbott comes up to the mound. He only has one hand. All right. He comes up to the mound, throws a pitch. I want to say it was a slider. It gets hit to Derek Jeter at shortstop. He throws the ball to first base. And my man, Jim Abbott, in 1993, threw a no hitter with one hand. The only player in the history of Major League Baseball to do this feat. I mean, how many people are playing professional sports with only one hand or some major defect to their body? Not many. All right. But this week's motivational minute, I wanted to tell that story because the odds may be stacked against you. I'm sure nobody believed that this guy could, number one, maybe even play little league baseball, let alone make it all the way to the major leagues. And then playing against the best players in the world, throw a no hitter with one hand. The odds are stacked against him. All right. And the odds may be stacked against you. Maybe you're the only person in your family who has ever had the thought that I'm going to start a business and change my life. I know I feel like that. Maybe there's been people who, once you've had that idea, you've told your dream to, and they said, no, it wouldn't work. Can't happen. You've never done that before. Jim Abbott had one hand. I'm sure that that was told to him, but he didn't believe him. And now he is in the history books. 238,500 games have been played in the major leagues. 326 have happened to have a no-hitting pitcher, throw a no-hitter in there. Only one had one hand. So if he can do it and the odds are stacked against him, why can't you? Why can't you? I believe you can because I've done it. Completely changed my life starting a business. All right. And when people don't believe in you, just think about this story. If a guy can get to the major leagues, throw a no hitter with one hand, what could you do for your life when the cameras ain't even flashing? Let's go. Get out there and change your life. That concludes this week's Motivational Minute, which was brought to you by Equip Expo. Make sure you get down to Equip Expo October 21st through the 24th. Code MAC50 will save you 50% on your Equip registration. That was one of the improbable victories of my life, was going down there and having my life change by seeing just how big our community is, how big our industry is, and how much fun it is just to be around people who think like you think and who want to win in life like you want to win in life in the green industry. So get down to Equip Expo. And hopefully we'll be 30,000 attendees this year. But it has been growing since I started going in 2021. And why don't you help it grow just a little bit more by coming down to Equip Expo and make sure you use code MAC50 to save yourself 50% on that registration, man. Make sure you get that hotel book too, because You don't want to be on the outskirts of where all the fun is happening down there in Louisville, Kentucky, October 21st through the 24th. Now, let's get to this week's winner of the week. I usually call out other people, and give them the wins as people have hit me up to tell me that maybe they got a new truck, a new trailer, maybe they had a new kid, or they got a brand new commercial contract, or maybe they just started their business and they got their first 5-star Google review. Wins are in the eye of the beholder. All right. When I got my first Google review, I was like, yo, this is a win, bruh. I can't believe someone had the courtesy to go on the internet and say nice things about the work that I do. All right. Especially when I thought I couldn't do it at the beginning. But one of the things that I've learned in episode 100 is that just being consistent makes you a winner of the week. So you can only get to 100 episodes if you are consistent. So this week's winner of the week, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to the show on the attack with Mac, reaching 100 episodes. I looked up some statistics so that I could give them to you. I didn't know this, but less than 10% of all podcasts, and there's I don't know 100 million maybe by now, make it to 100 episodes. Some researchers have said that it is really between 5 and 7% of podcasts that make it to episode 100. So this is improbable for me. It's been one of the most consistent things that I've done in my life, besides having a business and being committed to my wife and all of that stuff. But just outside of like family things, this has been the most consistent thing I've done. Uh, I'd say in my adult life thus far. I mean, I've kept a job and everything, but I ain't counting that. I'm talking about things for my dreams. All right. And this has been one of my dreams has been to help a lot of people. So to find out that 5 to 7% of podcasts make it to episode 100 was mind blowing to me. And then it says reasons why most podcasts stop before they get to episode 10 or within the first year. And those reasons are it's really high effort for low reward. Like, I don't even get paid for any of this to talk to you. Not that I'm begging or anything like that, but it is true. It's hard to come up with things to talk about each week. It's hard to continuously talk for at least an hour each week. It's hard to get back to every DM that comes in as people look to support the show and other things that I do. But nevertheless, uh, we are still here because the reward is one person watching, and we have sometimes 100 people watching, sometimes 20 people watching, but there's always at least one. And so I'm really happy about that. Another thing is lack of consistency. And like I said, this has been the most consistent thing I've done. I might be a couple minutes late every now and then on a Monday, but for the most part, for the last year, we've been doing this. For the last 3 years, I've been doing lawn care power moves. So each week, you've got to see me, and I've got to see you, hang out with you, share some stories, shed a tear every now and then. But it has been a super fun thing just to be a part of a community and to be a part of something that I'm growing that people would like to be a part of. So I just said part like 5 times. It's a live show. What are you gonna do? Another thing is the audience engagement. So I'm just looking here right now, and if you don't have people to, first of all, if no one's watching, well, you can't have audience engagement. But I've been blessed enough to have some people start watching, and the crazy thing is, the comment section is always on fire. The people who are watching live, and we do this on Monday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern each week, are always in the comment section either trying to make me laugh, sending some words of encouragement, sharing information with one another, and creating those relationships that may be digital now, but then when you go to Equip Expo or one of the Winning Life events, maybe here in Pittsburgh or at Equip Expo, you get to make those relationships that have been, I guess, started and growing in these comment sections, but you get to shake hands physically, give someone a bro hug or a sis hug and be like, yeah, I'm here, right? I'm not an icon anymore. I'm actually your real friend. And we may have met through a comment section on a show like On the Attack with Mac, but this is a genuine relationship that we have now, helping one another to win in life. And that's what everything that I do is all about. And the last reason why a lot of podcasts don't make it to 100 is they're trying to be perfect. I know for my own self, and maybe you can relate to this. When I have to edit things and do all of that, I want everything to be perfect. The thing that I realized was, let me just talk live. If I don't have to think, let my ADHD become the talent that it actually is. All right. So I don't write anything, well, money things down, and everything is pretty much a bullet point, and then it's off the top of the dome because I didn't want to have paralysis analysis and be overthinking everything. So, off the top of the dome is how it works best for me. And I hope that it is entertaining for you. But people chase perfection, and so they don't put their stuff out. And they're worried about what people may think. How do I sound? How do I look? Is there something in my teeth? Do I have a booger in my nose? Listen, man, mistakes are going to happen. Okay. But if you want to make it to where you want to make it, you got to say, forget those mistakes. I'm going to be consistent anyway, and I'm going to go out here and get it done. So, um, winner of the week. I know it was long today, but shout out to On the Attack with Mac, the podcast. All of the people who watch it live each week, all of the people who have downloaded it. We've been in like 85 different countries, over 1,700 different cities around the country and the world now. So I appreciate everyone who watches, and especially you people that are here each and every week live. And last but certainly not least, the people who decide they really want to be a part of something and join the channel as a channel member, or excuse me, or they want to be a part of the winning life meetup group, or the winning life things that we do here in Pittsburgh and down at Equip Expo. But like I said, people are super super active. We got about 50 something comments right now just on YouTube alone. I can't even see how many we have on Instagram, but I just appreciate you, man. So episode 100, shout out to On the Attack with Mac podcast. I feel like this is a big accomplishment. And this week's winner of the week was brought to you by LCR Summit, a conference for people who want to do better in their lawn care or landscaping, green industry business, and also make some money doing content creation. That will be going on October 20th and the 21st down at Equip Expo down in Louisville, Kentucky. I will be the MC. They get some great speakers. I've been to all three LCR summits, and I 100% endorse it because I learned a lot about what I'm doing right now currently and how to structure things and everything down there, how to monetize my content, and things are starting to look up as it pertains to that. So I encourage you to get down there, use code Mac, let him know that I don't think there's a discount or anything, but it just lets him know that you heard about it through me, and I will see you down there October 20th and the 21st, as I will be the MC at the 2025 LCR Summit. You can sign up and buy your tickets at lcrsummit.com. Now, let's get to this week's word of the week, and let me pull it up quickly from my homie Marcus Tate, the LBCO who is always sending me words of encouragement so that I can give them to you. And it's cool because these quotes that I got are going to go hand in hand with this word of the week. So this week's word of the week from my homie Marcus Tate, the LBCOG, is fear. He says, fear is defined as an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or a threat. I know we have all been fearful of something in our lives. If fear comes, we have to stay in control. Fear wants you to respond in these ways: fight, flight, or freeze. Let's process fear this way: lead with a clear mind and a strong will to conquer whatever is troubling you. The best way to overcome fear is knowing that you are mentally, physically, and spiritually strong. Let's build confidence in yourself because we are always stronger than we face. You will overcome your fears. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. That is from Second Timothy chapter 1, verse 7 in the New King James Version of the Bible. Have a great week, Marcus Tate. I heard this quote before. I think it was on a movie or something. It says, "The best things in life are on the other side of fear." I'm not exactly sure who to attribute that quote to, but I know that is for sure a fact. A couple years ago, whenever I pulled out my phone for the first time, my first ever YouTube video was shot on my phone. If you're watching, it was shot like this on my phone. I did about 4 takes, 5 takes, made some phone calls in between. I was chasing perfection. Why do I sound like this? Why do I look like this? All these different things. I was afraid of what people might say or think or comment. And then I talked to my boy Brian, my homie Fullerton. I said, I don't know who I'm talking to. He said, you're talking to you. I took that and I was like, man, what do I got to be afraid of? I'm just talking to myself. Every video that I do, here's a little cheat for you. I'm talking directly to me. And if you relate to me, then that means I'm talking to you. The best things in life are on the other side of fear. I posted that video, it got 12,000 views. We're 170 something videos in now, 24,000 followers, subscribers over the platforms, 14 on YouTube. 100 episodes on one podcast, 200 something episodes on another podcast. And I'll tell you something. Every week, before you hear those horns, before I hit go live, I am terrified. I'm always afraid. When I've pressed play, am I going to say the right thing that's going to help someone? Am I going to stumble over my words? Or are we going to get all of this stuff? Is the internet going to mess up? It's always scary. It was scary to start the business. It was scary to get married. It was scary to have kids. All of the best things in my life are the things I just talked about. Business, talking to you, beautiful wife, beautiful family, great children, nice neighborhood, at least to my standards. And I was fearful of all of the things, scared to start a business, scared to get on YouTube, scared to talk on a podcast, scared to bet on myself. We're on the other side of fear, though. 100 episodes, 200 episodes, 170 videos, 800 and something posts on Instagram, and there could be more. Do your thing, man. Stop being afraid. Life is too short for us to be afraid. And there's so many great things on the other side of the thing that you're afraid of that if you would just do it, the improbable victory will be yours, just like Jim Abbott. All right. So get out that spirit of fear because you got love to follow you, and love conquers everything. So get out that spirit of fear. But that concludes this week's word of the week, which is brought to you by the Winning Life Events and Meetup Group. You can sign up in the link tree of my Instagram, Mack_landscaping412. You can sign up in the podcast show notes. You can sign up in the description of this video, and I will throw it in the comment section here in a second. I hope that you enjoyed this week's word of the week. And if you enjoy that, you enjoy the motivational minute, that's what you get on bi-weekly Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern with the Winning Life team. Come join the Winning Life team, the meetup team. We meet up every other week on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. We also got the 2025 Winning Life meetup down at Equip Expo. Registration is open. There's already over 130 people who have pre-registered. So tickets are going fast. Make sure you sign up. You can get up to 10 tickets. So bring your whole entire team. It is free while supplies last. It is free to attend thanks to our sponsors, which I will be naming in a reel here very soon. There is food while supplies last. We got 100 gift bags for the first 100 attendees. We'll be playing 3 games. We got the rock, paper, scissors tournament, or the rock, paper, scissors showdown, the best dress contest, and last but certainly not least, the strike challenge. There's a cash bar available, and so you can drink as much as you like if that's what you're into. But we got bowling upstairs, pinball, pool tables, dart boards, arcade games, all types of cool things downstairs. And there's a cash bar available down there. And from 9 to 10 p.m., we'll be doing the Lawn Care Power Moves live show with my homie Still Cuts the Best in front of a live studio audience. So, like I said, sign up now. And I hope to see you down at Equip Expo on Wednesday night from 6 to 10 p.m. at Vernon Lanes, 1575 Story Avenue down there in Louisville, Kentucky. It's about 9 minutes from the Expo Center, 7 minutes from 4th Street Live. So come hang out with me, then go down there, enjoy a concert or meet people, whatever you want to do. But make sure you're at the 2025 Win in Life meetup. Let's get back over here. Let me shout out some more people. Then I'll tell you uh, what's been going on with me real quick before we get to these 5 quotes that I literally think of and say every single day. And they've literally changed my life. So I want to give them to you today so they can change yours, hopefully. But over here, we got Horning Yard Services. This is on Instagram. Matthews Lawn Care. A Bug's Life. Matthews Lawn Care again. What's going on? Jose Jail, how are you? Lone Wolf Landscaping, CNC Landscapes, Yellow Dog Services, Rowski Yard and Home, Jared 615. What is going on? Green Shirt Yard Care, Vincent TEH, I don't DR Services, MDS 3000, Grown Green Landscapes, the Showcase Lawns, Horning Yard Services. What's going on with you? And then we got a whole lot of comments over here on Instagram. My goodness gracious. Sheesh. You guys must have enjoyed the opening segment of the show, which went a little bit long. But we got Litho Lawns in the building. What's going on with you? See here. Clayton Blunt, how are you doing? CNC Lawn and Gardening. What's going on with you? Uh there's a whole but I can't get to all those comments. It's happening quickly. It is fun. But before we get to these quotes, I just want to. I don't know if I've ever said this. Like, if you're new here, my name's Cornell Mack. I'm the host of On the Attack with Mack. I got a long lawn lawn and landscape YouTube channel called Mack Landscaping and Lawn Care. You can find me at Mack underscore landscaping 412 on all of the social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and the podcast. There's just a lot of stuff I'm trying to do all out at the same time, simultaneously. So you get to see me wherever you want, wherever we can hang out. I would love to hang out with you. But overall, I started this whole thing that I do because whenever I was sick, first of all, the goal of the show is to help people start a business, enhance a business, so that they can change their life and ultimately change your family tree. I was poor growing up, family with alcoholism in it, drug addiction, and no judgment on anything. It's just how I grew up. So always remained an internal optimist because whenever I was about 5 or 6 years old, actually it's probably 4 or 5 years old, my dad tied a bath towel around my neck and told me I was Superman, and I believed him. So I became an optimist. Right then at that young age, I thought I could fly. I was jumping from couch to couch. I also like the Thundercats. There was this thing on it. He said Lion-O, and he had this sword and this all this stuff would light up behind him. He had a cape too. And that's who I thought I was. So from a young age, I always thought I was a superhero, right? Superheroes always win in life. And so I would like to help people start businesses because I believe that there's a superhero within all of us, especially if you're a man. And I know the vast majority of my audience are men, and I want to see more supermen in this world out here killing it for their family. And so this podcast, the things that I do ultimately are to help people to feel the joy that I feel every day when I wake up as a man who is controlling my own life, controlling my own destiny. God gave this to you, a destiny for you to take grasp of so you could win in life. And it seems the world has told us it's okay to not strive to be our best so that we could go out here and win, not just for our own self, but for our family, the people who are going to be watching us and choosing where their life can go based off what they see us do. For our families, for the people who are all around us. It's for them. I ain't trying to change or do any of these things for my own selfish needs. It's because I want to be a better person, a better father, a better husband for the people who are counting on me. If I can be a better speaker or talker for the people who are watching or listening so they can help them go out there and change their family tree. Whenever I was 16, my grandmother died. I've told this story on here before. She had the longest funeral procession I have ever seen to this day in my entire life. And I want to have, I ain't in competition with her. But when my life is ended, I want to have that same experience. All right. So the goal of this is to have an impact on people by helping them to change their life by starting a business. Service business, it doesn't really matter. Business is universal. Whatever you're into, if you can turn it into a business, I would like for you to, at minimum, try and see if it works out. Okay. So that's what the goal of this is. So whenever I was a kid, I grew up poor. I didn't have I'd say a strong, healthy mindset of winning because I didn't know what winning actually was until I was old enough and conscious to like watch sports or see Michael Jordan or the Yankees or the Penguins of the 90s. Whenever I was a kid, they won some Stanley Cups in 92 and 93, I think it was, or it might have been 91, 92. I'm not sure, but I got to see winning. And that's what became it was that and literally superheroes. The X-Men. Superman is my favorite. The Incredible Hulk, Flash. People like things which were imaginary but then also real life superheroes, which were the athletes that I seen. I wanted to be like them. All right. So I seen that, but then I seen my life and I was like, I can't be like them. Okay. And once you start to think I can't be like them, that stuff just piles up. And so it piled up on me for years and years and years, all the way up into adulthood. And the only way things went away was when I got on a basketball court or a football field because I happened to be good. Paul Jameson might say a superstar. But um, as I got older, I would walk around listening to motivational speeches, and I started to hear quotes that literally changed my life. So I thought for episode 100, that number one, I would tell some stories of some improbable victories like Jim Abbott, like the show getting to 100 episodes, but also the improbable victory of me changing my own mind, right? And I want to give these five quotes that I have used over the years and now on a daily basis to you, so maybe they can help you. And I've mentioned these on here on several occasions. They just I don't think have been put in a package yet to have a whole episode around them. So I hope that you're into that type of stuff, and if you are, comment down below. We're ready to hear it because I hope that whatever I say today is received in a way that helps you because these things have helped me. So, without further ado, let me get a quick sip of water and then we'll knock out these five quotes real quick. So, the first one was this. Look, whenever I first started my business, 2016, I've told the story, broke my foot and all of that stuff. Uh, but I had heard, so I started to hear quotes and then I started to hear them on multiple videos. And whenever I was a kid, I seen my dad was in prison, but I seen my mom working two and three jobs, right? And when she got her income tax return, it was good. Now I didn't know government things like that, that we were poor. So I didn't know how all of that stuff worked. All I knew is that when my mom got a second job, it might have got harder for her. I wasn't I didn't see I didn't see that because I wasn't there working for her. But our life got a little bit easier. And so I realized something. Well, I thought I realized something whenever I get a job when I'm 16. When I'm 18, I'm gonna get two jobs. By the time I was 20, I had three jobs. All right. I was thought that I was living like a king. But I was spending all my money on dumb things because I grew up poor and didn't have stuff. So the money that I was working my behind off to get, I was just blowing it in clubs and on Jordans and clothes and things like that. But I'll never forget whenever I was I don't know, probably 2 years before I started my business, I started to act like resentful to my jobs. I had these jobs that were very fulfilling, that I enjoyed doing a lot, but I knew the people who owned them, and I knew that they were regular human beings. I couldn't really understand why I felt like they were living this amazing life, and here I am, basically in my own mind, slaving for their dream. And then I heard this quote one day because at my job, I was one of the people that they called for everything. They need me to work at this house, just call Mac. He'll go. They need you to work here. You just worked a 16-hour double, but they are short staffed over at this other place. So now, can you just leave the 16-hour double that you just finished? Don't go home. Go over to this place, work 8 more hours. We can have you on for 24 hours. Now, only special occasions did things like that happen, but I was working my behind off. I was on crisis teams and all types of stuff. So it's basically like the circ team in a prison when they come in suited and booted with it. I was one of those people. We would come in with blocking pads and everything and quell whatever situation was going on, right? So I was working my behind off. Then we got a raise. My raise was 25 cents. I had worked a full-time job is 2,088 hours, I believe, in a year. I probably worked 2,800 hours for that company, right? And yeah, we get overtime pay and all of that's cool, but you would think based off of the what you do, that's how much a raise you would get, right? So what, $2 raise? I'm doing all these different things. I should get a higher raise than that, but you are beholden to the people who make those decisions when you don't own your own thing. So I started to get resentful because I knew the people and I thought they were living like kings. Now I know this now as a business owner, and I'm sure you do too. If you make $30,000, you don't get $30,000. You had to pay an employee, you had to pay for workman's comp insurance, you had to pay for general liability insurance, you had to pay for your truck insurance and all of that stuff. You have to pay for all these things that go into you making $30,000. So you might make 30,000, but you might spend 25 to get it. And that could be how businesses are being ran. I didn't know that. But I became resentful because I seen regular people living a life that I perceived I deserved. And I don't even know what their life was actually like. But it was the job I was working hard. So I heard this quote, and it was given to, if you've been here before, you know my favorite speaker is Jim Rome. All right. So I heard him, and his mentor's name was Dr. Earl Shoaff. So Earl Shoaff told him when he was 25, I heard this whenever I was 33. He says to him, um, learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. And when I heard that, I was just like, what does that even mean? Work harder on myself than I do on my job. Does that mean go lift weights? Does that mean read books? What exactly does that mean? It took me a minute to understand, but it really was the mindset. So if you think you're poor, guess what you are? You're poor. If you think you're rich, you're rich. And then rich doesn't mean you have money. Rich, I believe, is a mindset. Because if you have a rich mindset, guess what you can get? Riches. If you have a poor mindset, guess what you get? Losses. Right? So rich mindset equals wins to me. Poor mindset equals poor to me. People are people, and we are all, in my opinion, children of God, and we deserve the utmost respect. However, how you act towards yourself deems the type of respect you get or lack thereof. So, for me personally, learn to work harder on myself was stop thinking about the negative things so much. Stop blaming other people. Stop worrying about the things that I didn't have, the people who weren't around, the people who didn't believe, and just start working on, do I believe? Could I do it? Do I believe in myself enough to believe that this could happen for me? And what could help me to continuously believe that? So I started to I stopped listening to music totally. I don't want to hear about Taylor Swift breaking up or, the rapper who got out the hood and stopped selling or started selling drugs or whatever. I don't want to hear none of that crap. All right. I want to hear about people who have won in life and how. What was the process? Who did they talk to? What relationships did they have? What things were they doing? What processes do they do so that they could win in life? Because to me, when you look at the people who are out here winning, a lot of them are just doing the same things. You look at a lot of the billionaires are walking around white t-shirts on, blue jeans, and some boat shoes, right? And then you got people out who are broke and they got giant necklaces on, $400, $500 shoes. And this was me. I ain't never had. Well, I did have a $500 pair of Jordans before. Stupid. My car was wrecked when I had them shoes. I spent the damn insurance money. Bad mindset. So I had to work harder on myself than I was on my job because my job, I was making a living. Man, we live in a we live on a cul-de-sac. My daughters go to a good school district. We have food in the fridge, things like that, man. I was living. I wasn't making a fortune. So I want to make a fortune. You should want to make a fortune, not for what you'll have, but for what you'll become. These are things I was hearing, man. So work harder on yourself than you do on your job. If you work hard on your job, you can make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. I listen to that almost on a daily basis. I say it out loud. I say it to other people. I truly, truly, I won't even say believe it. I know it now. I know that if you work harder on yourself than you do on your job, what could actually happen for you? Because soon as I started to work on myself and started to think more highly of myself, it gave me the ability to talk, to share my story. And to my surprise, my story and the stories that I've told have helped other people. And that has been a great thing. So learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. That was number one. Number two is success is something you attract, not something you pursue. Now, it took me a minute to get that. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. I was out here trying to pursue everything. Hey, I want to talk to this brand. I want to get to know this person. I want to talk to this person. I want to do this thing. I want to. All right. I was trying to pursue all of these things. And what I've come to discover is that if you just do successful things, you create successful habits. The law of attraction literally does attract success to you. The relationships that I've wanted to have, I started to do things. Instead of pursuing things, I started to just do my stuff. Talk how I talk, make my content how I make my content, be my own me. I ain't trying to be anyone else's you. I'm trying to be me. And that has attracted some brands. It has attracted some awesome friend relationships. It has attracted people to come and listen and watch and comment and be a part of the show every week. I feel like it's successful, and I do believe that success is something that you attract and it is not something that you pursue. If you just do the thing that you enjoy doing and you do it well and you take pride in it and you put that thing out there, things will be attracted to you. You ain't got to do much, man. You just got to be yourself. I'm sweating like a mug. It's hot in here. All right. I'm having a good time. I hope you are too. Let me see here. We got a lot of cool people in here. All right, that's number two. So success is something that you attract, not something that you pursue. Um, Here's another one. For things to change for you, you have to change. Don't try to change the circumstances. You just need to change yourself. These are three quotes that I got from Jim Rome, who got them from Dr. Earl Shoaff. But for things to change for you, you have to change. It kind of goes hand in hand with learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. For things to change for you, you have to change. You can't change the circumstances, situations that you've been through in the past. I remember vividly, I used to tell everyone, man, my coach did this. My coach didn't do this. I didn't get to play because of this or that. And if I had only done this, my life would be this different. But I still want to have my wife and my kids and all. I want to have the same thing, but if only the past was different, well, guess what? If the past was different, I wouldn't have any of the things that I have currently. You can't change those things. The only thing I could change was me. So I realized I would say to some stuff to my wife about things in the past, and I would just get the eye roll. She just roll her eyes. Oh, here we go again. I got to hear about this basketball stuff again. Nobody wants to hear that crap. Right? No one wants to hear about all the things that happen and that what those things would have changed. All you really got to do is change yourself since you can't change the situations, since you can't change the circumstances. And I heard you shouldn't even try. You can't change them, so why worry about them? Instead, focus on changing yourself. So, what did I have to do? I made a conscious decision. This is why I might reference basketball, but I try not to really talk about it too much anymore because it's so far long ago that it doesn't even matter. When I was playing basketball, games were getting taped on VHSs. Some people don't even know what that is. That's how long ago I played. So to talk about the bullcrap now is just stupid. Who wants to hear that? What have you done for me lately? That's what they care about. What have you done now? Where are you going in the future? Because the past is the past. It's the rear view mirror. And we got this big windshield to look out of. And you so focused back there that you like, and this is me I'm talking about. I'm so focused back on there, wondering what my life could have been that I was completely missing the life that I had. And I don't want that for you. So for things to change for you, you have to change. The change is how you see things. If you are a pessimist, make a conscious decision to see things as a good thing rather than a negative. All right. So I looked at it now for things that change for me. Did the coach maybe hold me back? Perhaps. Maybe he did. Who cares? It's over now. What can I change now? I could use all of the stuff that happened then and make it a positive thing. Well, yeah, he didn't play. I didn't get to play a lot whenever I was a junior, right? But that was so that I could learn how to persevere through things whenever I can't change a situation. It didn't matter if I was better or worse. I couldn't change that situation. That's his life he's living, and I got to live my own. So instead of worrying about what didn't happen, I started to think about I didn't happen for a reason. If I would have became some gigantic household name or whatever, like I had always hoped and dreamed, I wouldn't have the life I have right now. So for things to change for you, you have to change, and I believe that that is changing within, changing that inner voice that we have, right? That tells us it's their fault that I ain't where I want to be. It's this thing is the reason why I'm not where I want to be. That's what I was doing. If you are doing that, today's the day to stop it. All right. Change you. Don't change the circumstances. All right. So that's number three. Number four is a Bible verse. Number four is a Bible verse. Like I said, whenever I was younger, um, negative things started to happen. They started to pile on, pile on, pile on. And the things I was doing was helping for things to pile on, pile on, pile on, right? So if I already feel negative, if I'm already not happy with my life, I'm gonna go listen to music that feeds that to me. I'm gonna have relationships that feed that. It's the law of attraction. I am literally attracting how I feel. So that's the world, right? So this Bible verse is from Romans 12:2 is do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, I ain't no theologian. I ain't trying to sit here and give you religious talk, but changing your mind is the same as for things to change for you, you have to change. So the life that I did have, financially, spiritually, all of that stuff, was the world. I was being conformed to the world. I wanted to have the nice things because other people had nice things whenever I didn't. And now that I thought that I had the means to have nice things, I went out and I conformed to the patterns of the world. I bought the Jordans. I went out and made bad financial decisions like buying a Nissan Maxima for $34,000 when I was making $10 an hour. They'll give you a car, they don't care. Since you want to be conformed to the world, we will help you out, my friend, and we will give you bad financial decisions like depreciating values in cars. It was a car. At least now the truck makes money. The car was making nothing. But really, people laugh. Look at that dummy. That boy makes $10 an hour. He went out and got a $500 car payment in 2005. What is he thinking? 25 years old. He's going to be paying on the car till he's 30, 31, 32 years old. Smart move by being conformed to the world, worried about what people think by the things that you do. Trying to impress people who do not care, probably don't even like you. Pissed off you got it anyway and ain't happy for you until they find out it was actually a negative. Because you go buy a car for $35,000 with a $500 plus car payment on it, making $10 an hour. No judgment. I was an idiot. I ain't gonna say other people are. I know I was. So if that's you and the shoe fits, I'm wearing it right now. So don't be conformed to the world, man. When I stopped listening and wanting to have what other people have, started to be happy with what I have, my life got better. Things started to take off. Financial difficulties started to fade away. Financial responsibility got better. All right. And now we could still do a little bit better. I ain't gonna lie to you, but we ain't dodging repo men now. You know, the mortgage is on auto, the bills and the mortgage are on auto pay now. And that's because we stopped worrying about what other people had and we stopped trying to impress people uh, who really, like I said, do not care. So don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Let your mind be renewed so that you can be renewed, so you can win in your life. Because if you renew your mind, success rolls or success leaves clues and snowballs roll downhill. All right. So if you get your mind right, the people who come after you, they're gonna get their mind right faster. That's what I always said to my brother. Like, you're the version after me, bruh. So I hope that you get to places that I am earlier than I did, and he has, and it's amazing. And shout out to him, man. They started a lemonade stand, and boy, is he killing it. They had a big weekend over the weekend. They've been having big weekends each week, and we're gonna do a little shop tour and show you how to make some lemonades. So maybe that could be something that you do, maybe even with your kids, man. It's called the Lemon Lineup. They making lemonades and they making a killing at different fairs and events. So we're gonna do a shop tour with him soon. But uh, last but certainly not least, as we get ready to wrap up the show, I want to uh, give you one more quote. It is from a guy named George Bernard Shaw. He was a playwright in the early 1900s, writing plays and things. And he has a bunch of quotes, but this is the one that I have memorized because it is literally really been my life story. And to think that someone said this is why I enjoy the Bible now, is because it's like humanity hasn't changed in 2,000 years. We're still doing the same stuff. And these quotes that we hear that resonate with us is because it's really how a lot of our lives are. And so this one has been amazing because the life that I lead and have now with my wife, and I know it's possible for anyone if we can do it. But it is this: the people that make it in this world look around for the circumstances that they want, and if they can't find them, they create them. This is what inspired when I say at the end of each show, every show I do, every video that I do, every YouTube video that I do, every podcast that I do, always say this: the creator created you to be creative. So get out there and create whatever you want because you deserve it. That was literally inspired by this quote. And it's because when I look around my life, like I said, single mom, father in prison, alcoholism, drug addiction, things like that have been in my family. And we've been career renters. We've been poor our entire life. I've been in 11 different schools before I got to high school. Uh, Countless houses, like I said, career renters, buying cars from buy here, pay here's, and things like that. Um, I didn't always have the right circumstances. Not saying that they were the wrong circumstances, but they were my circumstances. And God gives us things that we need to get through to make us who we need to become. But this quote has been something that has been literally, it's probably engraved in my brain now, that the people in this world look around for the circumstances that they want, and when they can't find them, they create them. We have a nuclear family. Wife is now a stay-at-home wife, taking care of the kids. We own our home. We ain't dealing with financial problems. We ain't dealing with alcoholism. We're not dealing with drug addiction. Um, there's a lot of things that my wife and I have created. People weren't in the stands watching us play. I have missed one, I want to say, cheerleading event of my daughter's in her entire life. We don't miss stuff, man. Um, we're there, right? I didn't have an advocate to go talk to people when I needed help. My kids got that. That's what my kids, man. Cut that school. See if we ain't up there. We live 5 minutes from the place. We'll be there in a second. I ain't have that. And it wasn't because my mom didn't want to do it. She was out working, trying to create a life for us. I didn't want that for my kids. So the people who make it in this world look around for the circumstances that they want. And if they can't find them, they create them. We created the life that we want. We do the things that we enjoy doing. We're trying to create the things that will help us, that will also have an impact on other people so it can help them too. The people who make it in this life look around for the circumstances that they want. And if they can't find them, they create them. I'm sure you've probably created some things too. Maybe you are just like me and you're the first person that you know of that has ever created a business that's going to change a family tree, your own family tree. You can do this, man. If it ain't going so well right now, it will get better. You just got to stay consistent at it because the people that make it in this world look around for the circumstances that they want. And when they can't find them, they create them. Those are the 5 quotes that I say to myself every day. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Success is something you attract, not something you pursue. For things to change for you, you have to change. Do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And the people who make it in this world look around for the circumstances that they want. And when they can't find them, they create them. Those are quotes that have helped me. I hope that I explained them well to you, and I hope that they help you. If they do, do me a favor, man. Send me a DM, Mac underscore landscaping 412 on Instagram. Or if you really enjoyed this show, you can give it a 5-star review on your favorite podcast and platform. And if you really want to go the extra mile, share it with someone who you think it will help because faith comes by hearing. And sometimes people need to hear. Sometimes people just need to hear something so that they can absorb it and change their life. But those are the quotes that I have been saying to myself for years now, and I wanted to share them to you. But we got to get ready to close this show, so we're gonna get to the last shot here. And listen, like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, most podcasts don't get to episode 100, and the main reasons are it's high effort with low reward. There is a audience engagement problem. You're chasing perfection, or this one, being consistent. So today's last shot is for you to become more consistent. I'm gonna do it too, but we're gonna do it together. Let's be more consistent. And most people quit because they don't see immediate results, right? Some people want to lose weight. They go run for 2 days and then they don't have a six pack and then they quit. But if you just be consistent, eventually that fat's going to burn away. Those abs are going to shine through. Some people quit in lawn care because the first year they only get 2 customers, 3 customers because they don't know anything. They don't know about marketing. They ain't got a Google page. They don't have a website. They don't know what SEO means or route density or any of those things. And so it's hard at the beginning. And they feel like, this is never going to change. They don't remain consistent. They don't remain steadfast. They don't remain determined. And then they quit. And then they blame other people. I've been that person. All right. So most people quit because they don't see their immediate results. I'm asking you to keep going. Don't stop. Be consistent. Even when you're tired, even when it hurts, even when you got a slight injury. All right. If you can walk, if you can play in a game, if you are only hurt, you can play in a game. Only injured people sit down. All right. We plan through all injuries if we can. So get out there, man. Be consistent. Your time is coming. Your time is coming, but you got to be ready when it gets there, right? The person who has been training in boxing for all their life, they've never had a desire to be a professional boxer. They're just waiting for that one time when they're walking down the street and that mugger comes up and he's like, "Give me your wallet." But they've been training consistently and they're ready. And that mugger goes to reach for that wallet and bam, they knock his lights out. All right. That's what I want you to do. Knock life's lights out. All right. And then stand there like Rocky in Philadelphia at the top. He's bouncing up and down. You could be Rocky Balboa, but you got to be consistent if you want to win in your life. So be consistent, do the things even when they're hard. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but success. Episode 100, man. Whoo, we are here. But don't you forget that the creator created you to be creative. So get out there and create whatever you want in your life because you deserve it. I'm out. Peace.